Hi there, Libra, Sun, Moon and Rising signs. Welcome to the Celestial Tarot, and today we are going to be doing your September 2018 tarot reading. So the way that my reading is going to be laid out is we're going to have 5 cards on the left, and this is going to represent your internal world and your personal energy in September. So it's going to be all the actions that you take, the things that you're focused on, your intentions, your emotions, and it's just going to be everything that you're conscious of about yourself. And then the opposite side, we're going to have 5 cards from another deck. That is going to be your external world. So it's going to be how people behave around you, towards you, you know, how you see them behaving towards you. Any events that you notice, results and opportunities that you notice. And the reason that I'm doing it this way is because of the law of attraction. So it can be a really beneficial tool if, for example, you know, like I said, this is going to be the side where you're consciously focused on yourself, what you notice about yourself, how you're behaving. But then we also have our subconscious world, and sometimes if we're suppressing something or we're not acknowledging something in our own selves, it can manifest externally. It can mirror to us in the external world. And in that sense, you know, having it laid out in a spread can be beneficial to help us to figure out what it is that we need to integrate in ourselves, what parts of us, you know, we may have disowned, just so that we can heal and that we can move forward with things that, you know, we might not be able to manifest so easily. Anything that's not working out, we can maybe find it easier to figure it out because of this, you know, law of attraction principle being laid out in tarot terms. So also, you know, you can have positive things. If you have something positive on your side of the reading and then it manifests in the external world, that shows that you've really integrated something and you're fully in alignment with something that you are focusing on, that you are desiring, and that is why, you know, it's likely to manifest externally for you. So I'm going to pick the cards at random as we go along. Just intuitively whenever I feel like it. And we get the Judgment card. So the Judgment card, you know, is known as this big old resurrection, you know, some kind of rebirth, some kind of big awakening call, a moment that wakes you up to something where you feel like, you know, all of a sudden something that was once, you know, quiet and on the lowdown is just inspired from within, you know. It comes out from within you. Some kind of great epiphany or idea, some great realization that you have where all of a sudden you realize, oh, I need to make a decision on this thing. I need to focus on this thing. This thing requires my immediate attention. You know, it may be something that was once being swept under the carpet as well, and now you have to focus on it and pay attention to it. But this is your internal world, and you know, this is all about great feelings being aroused within you once again, and ideas, and of course it relates to the planet Pluto, which is all about transformation and even power struggles. So there may be something that requires attention because it needs to transform. You want to make an invigorating, you know, drastic change in something. You want to sort out all the cobwebs, so to speak, you know, everything that needs sorting out. You're bringing it to the fore, you're bringing it to attention. This could be you taking big drastic actions towards something in order to transform it. But you are coming to some big realization in September. Your attention is on something very important. And then we get the Page of Cups. So pages, they're all about, they're like these mini apprentices, messengers. They're just new, they're naive, they're learning. With the Page of Cups, this is like some kind of unexpected, surprising kind of emotion, understanding of a relationship, something that you had ties to, links to. All of a sudden, you realize something about it, you learn something about it. And next to the Judgment card, that makes a lot of sense. You coming to some big realization about something, and it could be something creative, relational, some kind of creation of your mind, your own realization, your own creative insight into something. Definitely creative insight is, the phrase that pops to mind, that stands out the most to me. And that is why you would learn something. You have a massive creative insight or epiphany. Something is, calling for your attention to transform it. And that helps you, that causes you to learn something new, perhaps about yourself, perhaps about another person, perhaps about something you have an emotional connection with, something artistic, inspiring, creative. It could be any of those things. And perhaps even for your own emotional well-being, you realize that you need to make a change in something. Because perhaps even some uncomfortable emotions arise, and you're just trying to learn and understand what to do with that and how to help it. What to make out of a situation that might not be, the easiest or the most simple, or that you might not necessarily be the most experienced in. And then we get the Seven of Pentacles. So, Seven of Pentacles is this patient, persevering attitude towards something, where you're really waiting for something, and you're waiting to see where it goes, how it turns out. You have every bit of faith that it will all work out in the end, that you will receive, that you will, get your investments, everything that you've invested into something. You have faith that it will work out, but it hasn't yet come to fruition. It hasn't yet finalized. There may be even this big epiphany realization that you need to make some kind of move to transform your life, but perhaps you're waiting. Perhaps that's why you feel like a page, you feel like it's still early days, and you can't necessarily go ahead with this thing even though it's calling for your attention, because there's still some investment that needs to be made in something. There's still some work that needs to be done. There's still something that is trying to come to fruition. I get the analogy of, maybe, or just the example of, maybe you need to move away from somewhere, but there's still, paperwork and bills and things that need sorting out before you can make such a drastic move. And so, you feel a bit stuck, but I think with the Page of Cups and with the Seven of Pentacles, you have every bit of faith that it will work out. And the Judgment card is like seeing things clear as day. You know exactly where you need to go, what you need to do, what moves you need to make, what is working, what isn't working. But it just feels like there's still things you need to tend to and to sort out before you can even, honor that realization, that judgment. But with the Seven of Pentacles, that kind of attitude is willing to work within the limitations of what you have. The Judgment is asking for drastic change, movement, but you feel like there are still certain lines and limitations that you've got to work within in order to create this big transformative action. because there are real world, tangible limitations that make it so that we can't just as yet, push the boundaries, even though that might be what you're looking to do. And then we get this Six of Wands. That is very interesting. So the Six of Wands is a card of great recognition and feeling like you've really triumphed in something, you really achieved something. You're feeling super optimistic about your own abilities, your worth, the values that you have accumulated, everything, beliefs, opinions that you've accumulated to shape you to who you are today, and feeling really good about that and optimistic that you have what it takes to make a success of whatever situation it is that you need to make a success of. Perhaps you see yourself, moving forward, being able to make the changes that are necessary to really transform yourself, to really bring in new optimism, new look, and to feel like you can expand your horizons. You do have what it takes to expand into new territory that the Judgment is calling you to, that the Page of Cups is, calling you to, and that the Seven of Pentacles is perhaps, making you feel like there is a bit of a waiting period. But with the Six of Wands, you feel like that waiting period is nothing that can hold you back, Instead, once it comes to fruition, knowing that you have what it takes, everything will work out and you will expand into those new territories that you need to receive everything that you feel like you deserve, to feel worthy, to feel optimism, to feel luck, to feel like anything that you went through was worth it. Feel like you've come out of the other side of something that required a lot of effort from you, required, a lot of patience from you. Perhaps dealing with other people, perhaps in a work situation, a family situation, friends perhaps, but I don't know. It feels more like some kind of structure or organization, and family units can feel that way, financial restrictions can feel that way, work situations can feel that way. But you're definitely moving in the direction of your desires, your wants, your needs. You're honoring those. You're not, putting them on the back burner. You're paying great attention to them and creating drastic change and actions to move in those directions. And right as I said that, the Fool card just flipped over as I was shuffling, which is all about those drastic new beginnings, taking action, leaps of faith. The Judgment card with the Page of Cups definitely feels like a leap of faith. And we do need a leap of faith if what we're trying to manifest has not fully come to fruition. Still taking the jump, still taking the leap requires a lot of faith, learning, transformation. And so then finally for Libra, September, we get the Eight of Wands. So I was already just talking about, these giant leaps of faith, these fast actions. And the Eight of Wands is definitely a card related to swift, fast, far-reaching action, and messages, far-reaching messages, reaching really far with whatever you are trying to accomplish. You're moving beyond any limitations and you're creating the changes that need to be made. You're reaching out, you're moving forward, you're doing what needs to be done, you're taking the actions, you're making the plans, making the moves, and you're using what you do have, with the Seven of Pentacles, even though everything hasn't come to fruition, you are using what you do have, what you have gained in the short amount of time. You know, even though it hasn't fully manifested, you know, all the things that you need, you're using what you do have, what little you do have, to really move beyond the limitations, to move far, to reach new horizons, to create the drastic change, and to come out of it, you know, in a successful way, to feel good about yourself, to move to a better place, to move beyond and transform a situation. And this could also be you learning and receiving information too about everything that you need to transform a situation. Because with the Page of Cups, you know, this is you receiving, and with the Eight of Wands energy, the messages could be going both ways. It's not just you sending out messages, it could also be you receiving them. So given all of that fantastic energy, super invigorating and motivating and arousing, you know, there's a lot of desire to move beyond, to move forward. And let's just see what is happening in your external environment. And maybe that will give us a clue as to how people are behaving towards you, opportunities that you manifest, and maybe even things that you are reacting against with this energy. But also, you know, maybe we've even got some suppressed aspects. Maybe there's some difficult emotions that you're not acknowledging. And that could manifest as something external. That could be also the reason that you want to move beyond. If there is something, a difficult circumstance, something that feels stuck, something that doesn't serve you well, this could be you trying to move beyond that, and rightfully so. And with the Page of Cups, you know, you're saying, I want to receive better than what I'm receiving right now. As much as the fish can be a surprise, it can also be something unwanted, you know, something not nice. That fish could just jump out of that cup and whack you in the face, and you're saying, you know, this is not the kind of thing that I want to receive, that I want to be, you know, the recipient of, on the receiving end of. And so I want to take drastic actions to change that. But I need to believe in myself. I need to find the resources, use what I have, the tools that I have, to keep pushing, moving beyond this situation. So in your external world, we get the Justice card. So this is the Libra card, and you could be dealing with another Libra, but more than that, it is just the energy of Libra, what Libra brings. You know, Libra is all about, and particularly in the Justice card, the emphasis is on finding the truth of a situation, having discussions with people to try to figure out some kind of solution to something that needs resolving, having discussions. So it's like this back and forth energy, you know, talking to someone where you're just sick of something and you're trying to lay all the cards out on the table, trying to say your piece, and then, you know, you're receiving their piece, and you're all just trying to get to the heart of the matter, to figure out what needs to be done. And it could be somebody saying something to you that has you thinking and has you saying, you know, forget that, I need to leave, I need to change this, this is, you know, not what I want. It could also be information that you receive that helps you to finally make the decision to transform, you know, an unpleasant situation. But just as much as the Justice can represent, you know, the positive side, it could also represent the shadow side of this card. So it could be harsh truths, some truth, it can be beneficial. It could be something that finally, equalizes the situation, helps to balance it out. But on the other hand, it can be something perhaps even hurtful words, actions, things that try to keep you in that box. But I do feel a positive sense of this. I feel like maybe in your external world there may be some kind of diplomacy, kind of agreement, things equal out. Which is really useful, And then we get the 9 of Pentacles. This is, if this is what you're manifesting, this is you manifesting exactly what you need to feel comfortable once again in your surroundings, in your environment, with any financial situation that you have, any kind of physical situation really. This is also, even manifesting some alone time, some solitude finally, some being able to have, luxury you time, being able to try out those artistic hobbies that you wanted, and that could also be the equalizing effect of the Justice card, where things in your external environment, they might finally kind of ease out and resolve, so that you manifest an easier life, an easier, day-to-day life. Particularly with the 7 of Pentacles in your side of the reading, you are really trying to create something better. And then in the presence of the 6 of Wands, I feel like this is you feeling really good about whatever this 9 of Pentacles energy is. And it could be somebody who comes along to offer you some kind of abundance, to help you to feel good, to give you something to look forward to feel optimistic about. So definitely good amounts of abundance, beauty, luxury, some kind of ease finally, comfort coming your way. And it could be an opportunity that comes your way that allows you to feel this way, to feel good about your environment, about your life, about your routines, about projects that you're working on. And then we get the 7 of Swords. So the 7 of Swords, this is all about, this could be someone in your environment who is trying to take actions that perhaps seem a bit shady. You can't understand them. You don't know what they're doing, what they're up to. They're being a bit sneaky. Perhaps that's why you feel the need for the Justice card. It's beneficial that the Justice card would manifest. Whether this Justice comes after the 7 of Swords is another question. But if it is the 7 of Swords that comes after the Justice, this could be you feeling in your element, and then all of a sudden there's some shady stuff going on. There's some instability in your environment. People, are moving around like chess pieces, and it's all just a bit random. It's a bit all over the place. You feel a bit unstable because of it. You feel a bit out of your depth, that balancing effect may come undone. And again, that could be the thing that arouses you to the judgment call. This could be you making a massive realization, learning of something that is happening around you that perhaps isn't, the best thing, or it could actually be something very positive. This could be someone on your side as well. This could be someone who's taking actions, who is your friend rather than your foe, who is trying to help you and you learn of this, and because of that you have the strength and the ability to be patient and to persevere and to work with what you have because of this person, trying to help you, trying to work around a situation to help you. And that is why you might end up feeling, the 6 of Wands, the 8 of Wands. So that is fantastic right there. It could even be the same person that is the 9 of Pentacles if that represents another person. Another person maybe helping you to achieve balance in your life, a solution, helping you to achieve something better that feels good, using these actions that maybe aren't the easiest to make, that can be guided by intuition. It can be trying to navigate a difficult situation, something that's a bit tricky. And so that's a really uplifting side of the reading. And then we get the 8 of Pentacles. So this is, this could be you having a lot of work to do, to get busy with, not necessarily in an overwhelming way, but in a way that helps you even to find balance, to get your bearings straight, to feel like you have productive things to be getting on with. This is, work that requires a lot of diligence from you, attention from you, motivation from you, and you may be busy with that with the 7 of Pentacles. You may be even looking with the 7 of Pentacles for different financial opportunities, and then something comes your way for you to get busy with, and that's why you have this very patient energy in your internal action taking side. This could be you manifesting those pentacles slowly but surely. You gaining mastery over a situation and it's manifesting results for you. This could also be somebody else again, like we said, somebody else who's helping you with a situation, physical situation, financial situation. But again, we get this recognition card right here with the 6 of Wands, and I feel like perhaps an opportunity manifests for you to showcase your skills that you feel you deserve to be recognized by. Perhaps you put effort into something and it's manifesting, and now you feel this great sense of pride and joy about that work. You feel really happy with it. Perhaps you really want to share it with others, and others are receiving it. And finally, we get the 9 of Swords. Okay, so this could also, the 7 of Swords could be somebody making moves that are a bit tricky around finances, around money, around your physical circumstances, your living conditions, and that could have you feeling like there's a lot coming at you with the 9 of Swords. The 9 of Swords in the internal world can, very much relate to the traditional meaning of this card, which is all about, mind games, self-doubt and criticism, worry. But because it's in your external world, it could be somebody who feels that way, who then causes a bit of discomfort with, their action taking in regards to finances or a job situation or a physical location situation or your environment, but also their energy of mind games, criticism, doubt could be coming towards you. And perhaps this Justice card is somebody who's trying to appease the situation, to help them to calm it down, to find a solution. Maybe they're feeling this way, but I definitely see, somebody in your environment is just not all there with their mental state of mind, and maybe they're feeling defensive, and because of that defensiveness, they want to throw an attack, throw a verbal criticism, something to try to hurt you. And again, that could relate to the arousing of this Judgment card, learning something to create transformation and change with regards to this physical situation that somebody is being very strategic about and maybe even sneaky about. But with the Eight of Wands, again, this is the card of, receiving communication. And this card doesn't state whether it's something positive or negative. It just states that it's really fast moving. However, this is a Sagittarius card. Sagittarius is all about the optimism and, the joy, the ease. And it could be the case that you are ignoring that Nine of Swords energy that comes your way, and you're focusing on the positive. You're focusing on positive communications, what you can do, where you can go. Maybe the Nine of Swords is motivating you towards this Eight of Wands energy as well. You're tired of hearing this Nine of Swords. You're tired of, the uncomfortable, worrying situations and projections that people make. And so you want to move on. You want to transform your communications to become something more positive. You want to have a vision of your horizons, of your future, of, even travel, where you go, where you live, as something that is something to look forward to, something to feel really passionate about and believe in, messages that are healing, change that is healing, movement that is healing. And here it feels very tricky. It feels quite limiting. It feels a bit disturbing. And you want to transform that. You want to move beyond an environment where there is all this trickery and doubt and criticism and difficulty and, trying to figure things out, things not working out, things being in the dark, not being very clear. You want to move forward beyond that with optimism. So, I really hope in September, and I can definitely see that you have what it takes to deal with whatever it is that is negative, that is, hurtful. With this Nine of Pentacles and Eight of Pentacles, and even with the Justice card, there is opportunity in September for you to really manifest abundance, the balancing out of a situation, diplomacy, equalization, truth, to even take risks that might not seem like they're the easiest or they're the most clear. These risks that you want to take, they might not be the most clear things to do, the most understandable, but I feel like you can manifest a great amount of abundance in response to that, basically. So I'd really like to know, what this 9 and 7 of Swords energy is. Is it a friend or is it a foe? Do let me know in the comments below. And I did not intend for all those words to rhyme, but definitely, creating transformation in September, Libra. So thank you so much for listening, and I hope to see you in your October tarot reading.